On. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Get Your Breakthrough. The guest I have today is Jason Flynn.
What's going on?
What's
Facebook,
happening, brother?
YouTube, social media.
What are you, Jason? You're a multiple six-figure earner?
That is correct. I multiple six figures and many different things that I do. But yes, that's correct.
Yeah, okay, nice. It's not just in one industry. You've been in a couple over time.
Yes. A couple different businesses, a couple different things. Hey, for the people that are on here watching me and you talk, I mean, look, obviously they're on here because they want to learn how to have multiple streams of income and potentially get into a six-figure, if not multiple six-figure, to a seven-figure income goal. That's what we're all striving for.
Right. You're right about that. Well, where do you start at, man? We all started somewhere. Where did you start?
Well, I'll give you my story. So I'll kind of give you the short, long version.
Okay.
Growing up, single mom, I was, raised by my mom on her own. She had to bust her ass to work. My father was never around. And because of that, because my mom had to work so hard, she was always working. She was never around. I was, running the streets and just being stupid and hanging around the wrong people. And for any of you who are watching, hopefully you can relate to either my story or Colton's story. That's what these interviews are here for, to kind of show you how we started and where we came along in our life and our path. But guess what? Everybody's got their own story. But going back to it, growing up, I was in and out of trouble, hanging around the wrong people. As a juvenile, I was in and out of juvenile detention, being a knucklehead, hanging around. Again, you're going to hear me say this over and over again, hanging around the wrong people. I was surrounding myself in the wrong environment, a negative environment, not where people were excelling and trying to achieve more. I was out there thinking I was having fun as a teenager and into my young adult years. And the reason why I share that with you is because, growing up, I knew I wanted something more. I didn't know what it was. I don't know if it's just because the way I was brought up and me just doing my own thing, but school just was not for me. And education is important, guys. I mean, if I could have done something different, I would have finished. You're probably can kind of see where I'm going with the story is that I dropped out of high school in my 10th grade year because I felt like it just wasn't for me. I felt that there was something else out there and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I went out there to try to get a job. I was, cutting lawns and doing stuff like that. And then I started hanging around the wrong people again. And I started, hustling and selling marijuana and stuff like that. And I got in trouble in my younger years. And I spent a short period of my life incarcerated from the time I was a juvenile in my late teens into my early 20s. And I share that with you because hopefully somebody can relate to that. And hey, if you can't relate to it, it's no big deal, but I'm just trying to show you what's possible. And we're going to talk about the vehicle that we're in a little bit later, but it has no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no relativity, judgment, no prejudgment, right? Doesn't care about your ethnic background, where you came from. And that's why I think it's important to share my story, because you got guys that are in our industry that were professionals, went to school, went to college. Some of them are even doctors, have left their practice because they're making more money. So going back to my story, I got in trouble at a younger age. I was incarcerated. I had a felony on my record. And even though I had that entrepreneurship in me, right, it was just the wrong entrepreneurship. I was just doing the wrong path. I was chasing the money, but it was just the wrong kind of money. And we all make mistakes. And I tell you what, as a young adult, to where I'm at now, if you met me then, you'd be like, wow, man, this guy, you would have never even known, or just looked at me and be like, damn, this guy has done a complete 360.
Well, can I stop there for a second? Can I ask,
absolutely.
What is it that made the 360 change for you, or the 180 change for you? What is it that you were doing different? You were still making money. You were making money legally after all this, right? You started making good money afterwards and everything. So what changed from where you are to where you've been? What is the one thing that you did that you could kind of like pin it on that had changed your outlook, or I guess your perspective on where you wanted to go with your career?
Well, it kind of goes back to the story. Once I was in and out of trouble, and I finally said, I gotta do something to change. If I don't change something, it's not going to go right for me. It's either I'm going to wind up in prison or something even worse. But there was something inside me going, hey, dude, wake the frick up, because you're not heading in the right direction. And I think to answer that question, there's two answers to that. One answer is I was just sick and tired of screwing up, that I knew I had to make a change. And whether that's for my circumstances of what that was. And when finally I was starting to come to my senses, I said, man, I got to get a real job and I got to try to find a real career. And so to answer your question, Colton, it was, I think I needed to believe more in myself instead of listening to everybody else's opinions, because everybody else would say things to me like, oh, well, what are you going to do? You have no education. You didn't finish high school. I got my GED, but I did that when I was like 16, 17 years old. Didn't go to college. You've got no degree. You've got a record. So to answer, like I said, part of that question was I just knew I had to do something. And I had to surround myself, and where it changed, and there's going to be another answer to this later on here, but to change, I had to change my surroundings. And luckily, I came across a mentor that kind of introduced me into this industry of network marketing, whatever you want to call it. And he basically told me, he said, Jason, man, you got to change your surroundings. You got to change your circle of people. And at first I took offense to that, because I'm like, are you trying to tell me that my friends are bad people? Or, I was like, dude, that's kind of messed up. But he was trying to educate me and teach me, look, if you hang around successful people or people that are going to where you want to be, by default, it will happen for you. So does that kind of answer your question, Colton?
Yeah. So your answer is you just got different people.
I had to change my environment.
Right. That reminds me of a quote. You are the 5 people you hang around.
That's it.
He
used to always tell me that.
You hang around. Yeah. So I mean, for everybody's watching, if you're broke, if you're hating life, look at the people you spend the most time with, and they're probably in the same position as you are.
Very true.
Some might be a little bit better. There's some going to be worse than you maybe, but you're going to be the average of those 5. You should go ask your 5 closest friends how much money they make, and then look at how much money you make, and I guarantee you it's going to be right in the middle of everybody. And that goes for relationships, that goes for marriage, that goes for income, that goes for attitude. That's almost everything.
That's it, man. I remember he used to always say, my mentor told me the same thing. He said, however you want to think about it, take your 5 closest friends, add up all their salaries, divide it by 5. He said, all of your friends are within 5 to 10 grand from each other. And he was like dead on. I was like, wow. And look, it doesn't mean that, get rid of your friends or stop hanging out with them. It just said, just spend less time with them. They're still your friends. They're still family. They're still your people, right? You don't cut them out of your life. And I express that because sometimes when I feel like I have to, because sometimes when you start to change as a person, I still love my people, just as much as I love them then. But sometimes as people start to see you grow, they start to point the finger at you and go, oh, you think you're better than us. No, that's not it. I'm just growing. And hey, listen, if you want to grow with me, grab my hand and let me help you and pull you, just like someone did for myself and someone did for Cole.
Yep, that's good, brother. That's really good. So another question. So you've been doing your multi-level marketing, stuff like that, your direct sales for a while. You're just moving online. You're making good money there. What has made you choose the vehicle that we're in right now over all of the other vehicles that are out there, saying that they can make money online, you can change your life? What makes this vehicle so different, and why did you pick it?
Good question. So the reason, let me kind of just back up and start because, I did get my start in network marketing, and I think I should touch on this because some people know what network marketing is or direct sales is, but some people may not. And basically what direct marketing or network marketing is one of, it's a company where, you can go out and sell products or services and you can get paid off mass distribution based on building a team. Some people might call them pyramids or whatever they want to call them, but I can tell you like this, we've all heard of Amway, right? Oh my God, Amway. But guess what? Amway is still to this day one of the biggest MLM companies. Now I'm not a big fan of them, but I'm expressing this to you because it does work. So that was my introduction. And I had a cell phone store. Let me kind of go back to my story. So my story was when I finally started getting my career path, I was in the cell phone industry. I learned the cell phone game. I went from the bottom all the way to the top of that company within just a few years. And then unfortunately, the company started downsizing and they winded up selling. And I went from making a 6-figure income with a guy who dropped out of high school and no education, thinking I made it. And then and then the company just pretty much sold out, went out of business. I had to go to another company, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top. And they dangled the carrot. And I said, you know what? This is not for me. And maybe you feel like that right now, whoever's watching this. Maybe you're at your job and you're sitting there going, man, I just wish I had more. I feel like I can't get to that next income level. Or, maybe whoever you work for is family, or maybe the corporation you work for, those guys have been in those positions for so long and there's a ceiling, like you're capped. You can't go higher unless you find another career. And when I made the transition into this new cell phone company, I felt like they were just dangling the carrot again. I was like, man, there's got to be something better. So I decided, since I knew the industry, to basically start my own franchise. And I opened up a couple cell phone stores, and that went pretty well, and I made some money. But during that process, this is part of my story, during that process, I was actually introduced to network marketing. I was involved in a company called flynn, which is still around. And at first I was like, no, I don't want to hear anything about that. Sounds like it's one of those pyramid things, blah, blah, blah. What happened was I was just introduced to the right person, maybe like you see in this video today, hearing from me and Colton. And I was introduced to the right person, and that guy said, Jason, listen, if you just are coachable and can listen. And this guy, look, he was a guy I looked up to because he was already making multiple six figures. Now, guess what? I wasn't that guy who was making multiple six figures 10 years ago. I was on my way to six figures, but I wasn't making multiple. So as you can see, my surroundings were starting to change. And I surrounded myself with that guy. And I said, dude, if you can show me, I said, one of the things I asked him, I said, well, how much money are you making? He told me. I said, listen, if you can get me to where you're at, I will do whatever you say, because I'm sick and tired of being where I'm at. And for those, again, watching this video, that could be you. So going back to answer Colton's question, I want you to see the progression, how it happened, because maybe this is you. And if you weren't in direct sales or network marketing, guess what? It's even better for you, because we're going to show you the shortcut. So I got involved in that business while I was still running the cell phone company. And I was ignorance on fire. I did whatever he said. He said, hey, listen, let's call some people, right? He said, call family and friends and have a meeting, or bring them to the hotel meeting. And look, that's how most network marketing, direct sales companies are structured. That's what they teach you. Oh my God, listen, it winded up working for me. I was just stupid enough to listen to him. And I built an organization where I was making money. But I tell you, I say that to say this, to kind of answer Colton, the question. He says, why the vehicle that we're in is because in network marketing, they teach you to chase family and friends. You're hawking people. And granted, even though I had success, 90-something% of people that try direct sales, they get excited and then they have no success, and they typically quit because it's so hard. It's not easy. And although I had success, I was like, oh my God, this is real. So I started making money. I ended up selling my cell phone stores because the recession hit back in 2007, 2008. So that goes to show you my 10 years. But watch what happens. So I sell my stores because the recession hit. Thank God I got out in perfect timing. The guy I sold my stores to, he didn't have all the money. He gave me some of the money up front. I financed him the rest because he was broke, but I was just trying to get out of the mall because of the rent and the economy. Nobody was buying. And he went belly up in 90 days. So he couldn't even have it. I lost all my money on the financing part of the business. So then I just said, you know what, who cares? I'm going full throttle with this network marketing. I was making enough money to pay my bills. So it wasn't like I was making $20,000, $30,000 a month like these guys preach to you, right, in these network marketing companies. Doesn't mean it's not possible. I'm not saying that. It is possible. But I started making money. And then, I kind of was getting burnt out. I got burnt out from network marketing. And then I just said, I just got to take a break, because to me it was just a job. And I was the guy that, every time I come around, be like, oh crap, here comes Jason. Hope he's not talking about his business again. He's going to try to sell one of his products or services. It got to the point where I was hanging around friends and they would tell me, Jason, look, man, if we're hanging out, please don't talk about your business. And I was so excited about it, but they just didn't want to hear it. I didn't understand that. And it discouraged me a little bit. Anyway, as that progressed, I got burnt out and I kind of took a break and stopped. And in network marketing, direct sales, there's a saying that they say the speed of or your business is dictated by the speed of the leader. And since I was the leader that my mentor had taught me to be, when I slowed down, so did my organization, and it stopped. And guess what? I actually lost all my residual income, because what we're going to show you is true residual and how you can make some serious money with our business. But I lost that, and I went back to go working again. I went back to going into sales and selling construction, like decks and patios and stuff like that. And I made some pretty good money, but there was still something that I was looking for. And that's kind of getting into the question of where Colt was asking, why this vehicle? I started looking online, maybe just like you were, maybe watching this YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're watching this live, interview from. And I came across something just like you're seeing right now. And it was some guys talking about how they can make some money online. And I was curious because I was just taught direct sales and network marketing. I was like, listen to these guys. What are they talking about? And they had a system in place where you could, same kind of concept of direct sales, but they teach you how you could sell products or services, and you could get paid either commissions for selling a tangible product, or you could get paid residual. Residual meaning every time they were to pay for a service or a bill, you got paid over and over and over again. That got me interested. And what really excited me is when they started to say, yeah, you don't have to talk to family and friends. You don't need to go hound and get people to the meeting or get them to come to your house and some guys in your living room doing some sales pitch or something like that, right? Nobody wants to be sold anymore. And that attracted me. And I got involved, and I tell you what, I was shocked on what was possible, because what you'll learn about later on when you're reaching out to either myself or Colton is we're going to show you a vehicle that you can get involved with, that we're going to teach you and coach you and show you by the hand how you can have an online business and be licensed to sell products and services and get paid for it. But we're going to show you how to do that without having to go hawk family and friends. We're going to show you how to bring the traffic to yourself. Imagine that. Could you imagine if you started, let's just say, let me use an example here, like a McDonald's franchise, right? And well, that's a bad analogy because McDonald's sells itself. But let's just say you had some kind of brick and mortar franchise, right? You opened up some kind of boutique or shop in the mall, right? But you did no marketing or advertising. Could you sell some stuff? Probably, right? Because people will walk by you in the mall. But what if what you were selling everybody wanted or was interested in, and the people just came to your store? Like they had to go through your store to get to the rest part of the mall. That's basically what we do. We're going to show you how to basically create a traffic funnel of eyeballs and get them to your website. Guys, I like to say this. We are in the business of collecting information and emails. If you think about this for a second, I want you to think about Groupon, right? What does Groupon sell? Nothing. They sell everybody else's stuff, right? So what do? They collect emails. All they do is they drive traffic to Groupon, right? And then businesses sell their products and services, which the consumer goes to the website, they buy the product, and Groupon's worth billions of dollars. That's huge. Amazon, right? What does Amazon sell? Well, they have their own products now too, but in the beginning, they were just selling other people's stuff. What if I told you we have a business model that has the same concept where you can actually give a referral link, so tell somebody about a product, and if they purchased it, you can get paid. Think about that. How many times have one of you watching this, we've all done it, where you've told somebody about a good movie or a good restaurant, right? Because of the experience, the food, the movie was awesome, right? Well, what if every time you did that, you could get paid, right? You're already doing it. So why not look at the vehicle that we have that can show you how you can get paid every single month when they pay for a service or potentially buy a product? And we're going to teach you and show you how to do it where the traffic is coming to your website and you're not out there trying to hawk people, hey, look at my stuff, or you're in the mall where I was when I was in the cell phone business. I was the guy where if you made eye contact with me in the mall, I was going to try to pull you over to my store and sell you a phone. It got to the point where we were so bad in the mall, people knew, because we were just aggressive, that where if you were walking in the mall and you made eye contact, they do the fake phone call move. Because they didn't want us to, they figured, hey, if I'm on my phone, this guy's not talking to me. That's how, we were just, but hey, I was hungry and I was a hustler because I wanted something else. And guess what? Because of my circumstances and lack of education, I had to do something different. People look at me and they go, dang, really? You make that kind of money? I don't understand. Look, the only difference between me and you is I got in 10 years ago, and I had an ambition and desire to want more. I grew up not poor. I didn't grow up poor, but I grew up watching my mom struggle to pay the bills. My mom, when I was a younger kid in school, You know, I'm 40 something years old, but when I was growing up, Converse were hot, right? Converse, Adidas, K-Swiss, stuff like that. I always wanted a pair of Converse when I was a little kid, and my mom would buy me these generic shoes. And when I would go to school, kids would laugh at me and they would call them Bobos. I don't know what they called them in your area growing up, but they were called Bobos. Like, oh, he got some fake ass shoes on, right? So I remember that stuff as a kid, and I remember seeing my mom struggle so much. And that's why I have this work ethic to want more, because I don't want to have to go through the struggle like my mom did. And God bless her heart and her soul, because she did what she had to do to survive. So you guys got to understand that if you want something more, it's not all about the money, right? It's about experiences that you have gone through. There's something emotionally attached to you inside that makes you want more, right? Maybe it's to give your kids, you know, put them in a better school, or stop renting and have a mortgage, right? Or be able to pay that extra bill. Maybe it's a cell phone, maybe it's your water, maybe it's your heat, right? And then it can become your car note. And then the income will start to grow and it'll become your mortgage. And then one day, within a few months, hey, look, income disclaimer, there's no guarantee of how quickly you can have the results. I can't tell you're going to work as hard as me or Colton, but if you bust your butt, you can make income to where you don't even have to think about the bills. Just imagine, guys, if you could seriously have enough money where you didn't even have to think about your bills. And I don't want you to, you know, it's because it's a reality. It's a reality for me. It's becoming a reality for Colton, and it's possible. And look, we're not here to sit here and be all like, yeah, you want to make $1 million a month and drive a Lamborghini? No, not at all. You know, how about just enough money to pay your freaking electric bill? How cool would it be if we could show you a vehicle where you could start earning some money, and within just a few short months, let's just be realistic. Let's say 6 months of us teaching you what we have, where you could just start paying your freaking rent, your car note, something small. It doesn't have to be big. All these online guys are like, yeah, you want to make $20,000 a month like I do? It's unrealistic. Because I can tell you this, even though, like Colton said, I make multiple six figures, I think different now making that kind of money than when I did 15 years ago, only making $1,500 to $2,000 a month. But now I'm in a position where I can do that a week, if not in a day sometimes. But you have to understand that you have a transformation of wanting more. So remember, I explained this to you because it's so important. It's not about the money. We all want the money, right? But it's about, what's that desire? What is it? Like, there's a saying in the industry that says, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Everybody tells me they want to make more money. But guess what? If you're telling me you want to make $10,000 a month and you've only made $3,000 a month your whole life, if you don't obtain that goal, it was nothing to you because you've never had that. But I can tell you this, let you make $4,000 or $5,000 or $1,000 or $2,000 more than what you're used to making right now. Once you know it's achievable, shit, man, you go hard and you never look back. Because I can tell you right now, not to boast, but 10 grand a month, that just pays my bills. You know what I mean? I can't, but it was a shift for me. So for those of you who are watching, dig deep. Maybe I'm hitting something right now inside of you. Maybe that's why look, everything in life happens for a reason. And maybe this interview, or what you're hearing from myself, and you're going to hear Colton speak here in a little bit too, is there's something that we're sharing with you going, damn, that hit home. And it doesn't have to be everything. It could just be one little piece. But I share that with you, and you might see it in my passion, and I get almost emotional about it, because I came from nothing. Like I said, I wasn't poor, but I didn't have anything growing up. I was wearing generic clothes and stuff. Still had food on the table, but I wanted more. I didn't have an education. I wanted more. I didn't have a college degree. I wanted more. I wanted to be like those guys that I looked up to, driving, wearing nice clothes, nice shoes, and their nicer cars, right? In the beginning, it was material things. But then as I got older, I realized what was more valuable. I'm going to tell you the most valuable thing out of all this, and the money helps. It's your time. It's your time. Because if you had more time, who would you spend it with? Your kids, your family. And guess what? Just imagine if you had time and money. God, that really makes the difference. Look, when I was growing up, I had people in my family used to say stupid shit like, money's the root of all evil. You know, my mom would say stuff like, money doesn't grow on trees. And you know what? What I've realized over the years is their mindset wasn't right. That's all it was. You know why? Because we're taught that. We're taught that money is bad, money's evil. It's not. Look, the person say that money's bad, let them not have any. And they're going to start thinking about money real quick.
Yep.
So it's not the money, it's what we use the money for. Does that make sense?
Let me ask you, brother. So for everybody that says maybe you just talk to that person that's like, damn, that's me, bro. That's my family. That's what my family says.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do to get out of that mindset? What's the best steps that they can take today in order to change their mindset, start changing their mindset from today?
Well, one thing right here, you got two powerful guys right here that maybe where you were at, right, at one point in our lives. Reach out to one of us. That's step one, because obviously you're receiving the message, right? Look, I heard this from a buddy of mine named Kyle. We were at a mastermind event, and he was doing, he was, sharing stuff with us. And I love what he said. He said, look, I'm not the person that's going, I'm the messenger. The messenger's just coming through me, right? So whatever it is, that higher power, it's the universe that's telling you. But, you reach out to one of us. Second, start, you can just go on YouTube and just YouTube motivational speeches, and you can find tons and tons of stuff. Find a book. Find a good book. One of the things that helped me, and this sounds so crazy, it's not everybody, but somebody showed me a book and also a documentary, which you can go on Netflix if you have it. If not, you can go on YouTube and you can see it too. But it's a documentary/video, and it was a book also written by Rhonda Burns. It's called The Secret. Today, when you write this down. If you're watching it, write it down. It's free for you guys. Go on there and watch that, and then maybe reconnect with us. But those are a couple things that you can do. Surround yourself with positive people, because look, sometimes the most negative people in our circle are the closest people to us, which could be your family, and it also could be your friends.
Yep. And they say all out of love. They mean it from love, but they don't know that that's what's holding them back too. So
that's true, and it's because we are trained as humans to protect not only ourselves but our family members. So we even self-sabotage ourselves, because like I was sharing you earlier with my story, when I got in trouble and I was growing up, I used to have the conversation in my head like, well, dude, you didn't finish high school. You have no college education. You're never going to be able to make a six-figure income like some of these other people. But you know what? I was just in my own head. There was just some point that something clicked for me that I knew I potentially could do it. And all I did, Colton, as I started copying other successful people. Before I even got into entrepreneurship, when I was in the cell phone game and people were selling a lot of phones, and I was like, man, these guys are making like big money. I just started copying them. See, in school, we're taught that's plagiarism. In the real world, copy somebody else. Do exactly what they do, and you'll get the same results over time.
Yeah, there's a quote that I heard when I was in a mastermind last year in California, and he said, Jay Nolan said, "Life's about copycat. Just make sure you're copying the right cat."
I like that. It's so true. I don't know what people's faith is, but it's even in some of these good books. I don't know, they don't quote me on the exact verse, but it basically says, stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
Right? Learn from the people that have done it before you. And again, like we were talking about before, guys, it all goes back to surrounding yourself with the right people. I still have friends and buddies that I talk to that I grew up with, but we don't hang out on the regular basis, right? And they still love me and I still love them, but they know I'm on a different path. Maybe they can't see themselves finding that way. Maybe they have their own inner demons or whatever it is that's stopping them. And hopefully they'll get out of that, or I can help, or somebody else can. But I just say that because if you surround yourself with successful people, guys, I'm telling you, it doesn't happen by accident. You will become successful. Your income level will change. Your language will change, right? You might be listening to these two guys and going, man, they're polished. It wasn't like this 10 years ago. We were still learning the industry and how to develop our mindset. Because I can tell you this, and Colton, I'll leave this on, and I'll turn it back over to you, but I can tell you one of the biggest secrets to success is you got to get your mind right first. If we can't fix this first, it doesn't matter what you want in your goals. Doesn't mean you can't achieve it. It'll take a lot longer and it'll be a little bit harder to get there. But if we can help and teach you how to get this right, where it gets your heart right too, and you start appreciating more and have more gratitude in life for what you have and the things you have instead of what you want, right? You know, it also says in the good book, you got to have your needs and wants parallel. Most of us have our needs up here, and we're not even thinking about our wants, which are down here. Get here first, guys. Get here first. And just start surrounding yourself with successful people, because I'm telling you, it can happen for you. I believe in you. We believe in you. We know you can do it, because guess what? Somebody helped us along the way too. We were the same people having self-doubt going, oh, you're never going to be able to do that. You're never going to have that kind of success. Guys, my goals, if I told you my goals right now, maybe Colton might put me on the spot, but some people would probably shit themselves, because my goals are just like on another level. Like some of my friends call me an alien because they're like, man, you're always, the way you think is just crazy. But I believe it's possible. Why?
Yep.
Because I've changed my thought process and I've changed my mindset. So, you know, Colton, I'm going to pass it back over to you. But guys, I want you to understand that we're here to share this kind of value with you. Listen, we're in what we call the affiliate marketing space. And if you want to learn how you can position yourself to start making a few hundred, if not a few $1,000s extra a month, a day, whatever that is for you, you're going to want to take action. And you're probably going to see a link somewhere around this video. If it's on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. If it's on Facebook, you might see it in the comments. Just look somewhere on the page. You're probably going to have a link where you can actually click on take action. And we're going to show you the vehicle that is helping us and many others earns hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars per day. Again, income disclaimer, it doesn't mean you're going to have the same results, but it does mean it's possible if you can follow a system and just be coachable. Look, if you could change your financial circumstances in just 3 years, would it be worth it? Because most likely in 3 years, you're not going to be at the top of your company. So Colton, brother, I appreciate you having me on. I hope this helps somebody else. And, you know, maybe you can end it on another positive note. We can share some other stuff. If you have any other questions, ask me. I know sometimes I get excited and passionate because I want to share, because there's so many people out there like us that need to hear this story. Or maybe there's the guy out there that did have the education and right, is polished, but he's like, shoot, if these two idiots can do it, I definitely could do it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I'll turn it back over to you, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate your time, brother, and coming on and sharing your story. It means a lot. If you got value from this, reach out to Jason or I. Just instant message us. We're here to help. Anything that we can do for you, we're willing to show the vehicle and spend time with you. So as long as you're willing to work, we're willing to help. There's no doubt about that. Reach out, man. Have a great day. Thanks for the webinar. Like and share and comment below. We'll see you.
Like and share. Again, I love that. Hey, if you guys got value, just do exactly what Colton did. Share this on your timeline. Share the Facebook link, the YouTube link, because
sometimes it's
somebody else. And again,
yeah, sometimes it's not for you. Share it. Maybe it's for your friend. Maybe you know somebody that needs to hear the same message. So,
that's right. And guys,
right,
here,
man.
don't forget this. I want you to take action right now. Take action,
Take
people.
action.
See the link
Do it now.
on this page.
Do it
Click the link.
now.
Love you guys. See you next time.